The macro perimeter, this thing that you have, you hide all your assets behind, that anything behind can talk to anything behind, is a big problem in mobile for two particular reasons. One is you have all sorts of mobile devices moving outside the perimeter, so you have to figure out how to get them inside the perimeter, and that's either through VPN or Wi-Fi, so you're connecting potentially compromised mobile devices inside the perimeter, or you need to expose your internal data sources or applications to the internet, which in many cases, these applications are not built to be internet grade. They're meant to be in a very, very secure access controlled environment. Right. So neither of those solutions really work well. And then of course you have at the same time, you have contractors and third parties now all of a sudden accessing the perimeter, so IT doesn't even control what systems are behind the perimeter. Attackers, maybe 10 years ago, if they saw a firewall, corporate perimeter, that would be an impediment to them. Now they're so skilled at getting behind the perimeter, it's not even funny. For example, in almost every enterprise we have ever looked at, we have caught at least one, and typically more than one, mobile device with a malicious proxy. And what that does is, it's a mobile phone that connects outbound to a malicious command and control server and allows that command and control server to proxy traffic in through the mobile phone to any network the phone is connected to via VPN or Wi-Fi. We see this in almost every organization on the planet happening today. And so if there's any doubt that the perimeter is an effective security mechanism, I think it should be shattered. And of course the question is, what do you do about it? Right. The days of having very rigid policy and trying to defend the endpoint, you could argue maybe in the mid-90s that worked, but right. it's almost completely dead today. And in most leading organizations, we see a move towards defending the data, not right. defending the device. Sure. And so the way we look at things at Lookout is we can't defend the device. Right. What we can do is put a lightweight sensor on that device, analyze the apps, the OS, the configuration, right. Bring that back to the cloud, do risk analysis, and typically anytime a threat's discovered, the cloud knows within 500 milliseconds, so half a second. Right. And then you have your enterprise risk your enterprise risk systems react on that. Right. Maybe you restrict access to your sensitive data, but still allow access to the corporate directory. Right. Maybe you completely cut it off. But in a world of this macro perimeter, where the device is connected in, you can't control what it can access. So even if you know it's compromised, right. you can't really do anything about it. Yeah. And so we see a big move towards this concept of a micro perimeter. So instead of one giant perimeter around all of your assets, and once you're in, right. You have smaller perimeters around each of your assets. So each right. application, each data store will each make its own risk decisions. So for example, your corporate directory, to use that example, might say, you know what? I'm going to allow anyone who's authenticated in our organization to look at the cell phone numbers of other employees. Right. However, our financial package or our ERP might say, you know what? I want high security devices with known applications, with full OS integrity, right. are the only devices that are allowed to talk to our ERP system. And those differences in configuration actually buy a lot more security to the organization.